Hey guys, Eric from Alpha Advisors here with another video. Today, talking about Amazon. Now, Amazon is the world's largest recruiter of MBA graduates. And my video today is going to be about this take, what kind of jobs are available at Amazon, why Amazon is so popular, and how you could prepare for the interview. In other words, getting a job for them. Well, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. Like always, like and subscribe to our channel. We're putting out content on the daily basis. We are trying to expand globally, and we would love to help you in your journey winning your dream job post MBA, or get your or win your admissions for your dream school. All right, so let's get right into it. Amazon is the largest MBA recruiter. So one of the reasons why it's so popular, and I'll dissect this in the following points. It's because, number one, they are at the forefront. The company, it's a great company, and they're at the forefront of everything. They recently bought out One Medical. That might be on the news, on the radar. They are putting their hands on so many things. And in terms of the attractiveness of the workplace, tech company, it's Amazon's on everybody's radar, right? Now, MBA graduates, again, Amazon is the world's largest recruiter of MBA graduates. Again, tops the list of employers who gained the most approved H-1B petitions in fiscal year of 2021. Okay, we know that. Amazon was approved to hire initial employment of a record of 6,182 people under the H-1 visa program. Okay, up from like nearly 5,000 of the previous year, which is incredible. Other major U.S. companies with large numbers of H-1B hires include Google, IBM, Microsoft, Deloitte, Facebook, Accenture, Apple, Goldman Sachs, Oracle, Intel, Ernst & Young, Cisco, and Walmart. There may be other companies that I'm just not naming. And the approved petitions by Amazon, it climbs up the 29%, and approved petitions by Amazon was among the biggest increase for the H-1B annual limit. So that's one of the reasons why it does attract so much. Now, some business schools, I can dive in a little bit more in terms of the overall comparisons. And here's an article from Poets and Quants, and this is what the source is from. So we have here Amazon has hired 6,182. The year prior was 4,774. Infosys, TCS, and then we go on, so on and so forth. Okay, so Amazon is the largest, is the biggest tech company that's hired a lot, and that says a lot here. And why it's so popular? Again, I mentioned a few points of that. So approved H-1B petitions, right? That's a huge deal. And you see many Indian MBA candidates come to the US to work for Amazon. You see so many going into tech, and many of them go into Amazon. And so great for career searchers. So Amazon is excellent for those that are interested in switching their careers. They have a wide range of jobs available, such as the rotational programs, right? Some are like Amazon's Pathway Operations Manager, which as an operations manager on Amazon's Pathway, you'll lead a team and develop Amazon's fulfillment center, right? And get that and basically put their hands on getting the Amazon's product to your door. That's what they do. There's a pathway program, so it's a leadership development program in other words, and so they offer a great route for those challenging, essentially challenge mindset MBAs looking to make their first impact at a big tech company in terms of operations and management. It's a 5-year program, and essentially you'll get taken to managing 50 people to hundreds of people in just short few years. The senior program manager, there's Amazon senior product manager. Okay, I'm going through a list that I have here, which I'll share right now. So here are a couple of jobs that are out there right now. We talked about the product manager. There's Amazon's finance business partner, the Amazon senior marketing manager, senior digital marketing manager for Amazon Web Services, senior category merchant manager, Amazon senior human resource business partner, senior customer insights manager, business development manager. Now, there is another famous program, a rotational program. It's called the RLDP, which I believe it stands for the Retail Leadership Development Program, and that's a very popular one as well. So these are great MBA jobs that are out there. So what do you need to do to get these jobs? Or what school, where does Amazon recruit students, right? I mean, they hire so many people, 6,000, right? 182 in the year of 2021. So what schools did they go to recruit for? Is it the top business schools, M7? Well, the answer is they hire from everywhere, it seems like. But I should say this with a caveat: they hire MBAs that are obviously smart, but they understand data and they have the skill sets to operate data analytics. Okay. So when you talk about business schools, which business schools would be good to go to? You want to go to a business schools that are strong in business analytics. That's my 2 cents. In terms of which business schools typically attract, but they go through a very, I'm not an Amazon recruiter or anything like that, but from my experience of hearing people that's gotten job offers from Amazon, this is the process, the interview process that they go through. Okay, and I'll go ahead and switch to the next point. It's all about the interview. Okay, but the entire process of leading up to an interview is that you first need to apply to the job that you're interested in. And if you pass their initial screening, you'll then receive essentially this online module, a simulation, if you will, for you to perform. And this simulation and survey as well, but the simulation is also a big deal. So this simulation is essentially, it simulates a day in the life as a XYZ manager that you're applying for. And they give you hypothetical situations, like you get an email or you get a message, you open it, you open the data or the PDF file that's in it, and you have to look at the PDF data and make and select a action, what you would do or say based on that message that you received, right? And it's an exercise like that that lasts you about like 45 minutes maybe, if I remember right. And then the second portion of the online assessment involves much about a survey, really, answering questions: what you prefer, what you don't prefer, or what you agree, what you disagree in, and in a way to really profile your candidacy and identifying your fit for that role that you're applying to. Once you pass that initial online assessment, initial screening, and the online assessment, then you move on to the interview. Now, in my personal experience, in my classmates' experience, it varies to some degree, but all similar. And that Amazon's interview, it's all about behavior-based questions. It's all about the star story format. They will actually email you and tell you that tell you what the interview is exactly going to be about, right? It's going to be about behavior-based questions. They're going to ask you Amazon's values. Let's see. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Amazon values and behavior-based questions. That's going to be about these values, and your criteria essentially is to answer any past stories that resonates with the Amazon leadership principles and values. So I think this is it right here. It's These are the leadership principles that they want. Okay, customer obsession, ownership, invent and simplify, or write a lot, learn to be curious, hire and develop the best, insist on the highest standard, thinking big, bias for action, frugality, earn trust, dive deep, have a backbone, disagree, commit, deliver results, strive to be Earth's best employer, success, scale, bring broad responsibility. So it's gonna be um, a sequence of interviews that will happen. What happens is that when they invite you for an interview, you'll essentially most of these, it applies to most of these jobs that we've gone through. You'll have one day where you'll have four, five, six interviews. Okay, where it's like 45 minutes each. Each interview session may have one or two interviewers, and they go through, right? Of course, the usual getting to know you and why you're interested in working for Amazon and things like that. But they'll go through in depth of going asking you behavior-based questions based on this theme right here, these leadership principles. Okay, so it could be things like, tell me about a time that you, for example, you made a mistake and at your work, and you have to correct it with the customer. What did you do, and what was the result? Right. Another example could be, I'm just thinking out loud. Other things could be, let's see. Well, tell me about a time that you had to coach someone that was struggling in your team. What did you do to improve his or her performance, and what did you learn from it, or what was the result? Right. Those are the types of questions that you may receive, and so you really want to be just in tune with everything in here, right? For each, I would say as much as for each questions here, have a story or even two ready, okay, to talk about. And another component, although yes, the behavior-based question is major, they may send you, depending on the job, they will either do two things: is to send you a case beforehand, and you have to submit your recommendation or your analysis before the day before the interview. That's the case for our LDP, the Retail Leadership Development Program. And in some cases, like the Pathways Operations Manager, they may do a light casing where the interview would give you a hypothetical situation or a case, and then essentially you're there to do some light casing. It doesn't really involve math, really. The purpose of it is that they want to see your problem solving skills, your thinking, the way that you think, and just get an insight in terms of how you bring up a recommendation and present it. So light casing may happen for some of these jobs, like the Pathways Operations Manager. Okay, so recapping here real quick, why it's so popular: approved H-1B petitions, great for career switchers. Okay, and many of these jobs that I went over, like for example, like especially the rotational development, the leadership development programs, they don't require X number of years of work experience in that particular field. That is a huge thing. America does a lot of these rotation leadership development programs or rotational programs, and that's why MBA, it's so popular among the MBA population, because many of them want to change their career or pivot their career a little bit. And so these jobs are just an amazing place to, again, amazing company to get started with an amazing job. And of course the pay is huge, right? The one of the highest paying companies is Amazon. And of course, they recently had an article where they increased their base salary, they upped their benefits, and I believe my friend, no, I shouldn't say my friend, really. It's you can easily research online. Okay, I gave you some job descriptions, and each of them might have different salaries, but just to give you a ballpark number, right? 130,000 in base is normal. It's from 130,000 in base, right? Of course, you'll get the relocation package. Of course, you'll get the sign-on bonus. It's very competitive. And the RSU is actually the biggest. It's the most biggest appeal. So, which you get tens of thousands. I think it's almost hundreds of thousands. I'm not entirely sure, but that's a huge thing. And I could perhaps one day I could share with you an offer letter that my acquaintance, my classmates got back in the MBA. But it's in terms of pay, it's highly attractive, and it's a great Amazon is a great place to start your career after an MBA. And if you want to know how, if you want to get a job at MBA, we have advisors who have worked at Amazon before. So I would say come chat with us. Okay, tell us what you're trying to do. Tell us what job you're trying to get at Amazon, and let's see if we could help you potentially. Okay. Now, we also, on a separate note, we also offer for the MBA counseling session in terms of if you're thinking about an MBA or graduate school. We help students get into their dream school through everything, preparing from the application stages, from the testing, standardized test, and uh, helping them prepare for their interviews. So thank you so much for today. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.